I don't know if I should admit that it's not for a weird reason, but I'm literally directing with my foot right now because I'm like holding the ring light with my foot, so I hope that stays, because I can't afford to get a new ring light right now. So so I've done some digging. Sorry for the spooky lighting. Sorry, I literally look like Ginger from Ginger Snaps, but I had to turn my lights down because I was getting overstimulated, so I apologize for the spooky lighting. Just kidding, because it was Halloween, so we gotta have spooky lighting. Alright, so I decided to do some digging because I was like a pretty casual Hasan Piker fan. I didn't watch his streams, honestly. I don't really watch anyone on Twitch besides Half Moon Joe, who plays Nancy Drew games. So I don't know. I knew of him just because I hate Ethan Klein so much. And that's really how I was introduced to him. And I agree with his politics for the most part. I don't know that the whole controversy about him possibly having like terrorists on his show. I don't know. But I agree with his politics and everything. And I'm upset because I usually am pretty good at picking out performative men. Usually they just give me the ick. And I usually could just tell, but Hasan got me, honestly. Because I don't know. I thought he was cute. I put him in I made him my husband in The Sims. But I just like didn't know that much about him until this whole like Kaya Shocking thing. And when I watched it, I was like, oh, maybe it was a misunderstanding because I've never had dogs. I've only ever had cats. So I don't know much about training dogs. So when he was like, oh, like she just caught her paw on the bed and yelped, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess. But then when it's like people on Reddit were finding like literally looking up and finding the model, and they like confirmed the model, and there's a video of him trying to hide the remote, which is just like I don't understand why you wouldn't just admit to it. Like, I just like say you're sorry and move on. Like, but I don't know. That's the thing I'm so frustrated about, because it just feels like the bar for men is so low. It's so low. Like, all he had to do was be a good person, and he couldn't even do that. And I was happy to see a streamer who was leftist, because so many Gen Z men are getting radicalized just based on watching Joe Rogan and like Charlie Kirk, or not Charlie Kirk, just based on watching Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro, whatever. And they don't even, at least Hasan has the poli-sci degree from Rutgers. They don't have anything. I guess Ben Shapiro went to Harvard for music, I think, but so yeah, it's just frustrating because now everybody's gonna use, like, a lot of the videos I've seen are just people who already hate Hasan, and they're just like dogpiling on him because they don't like his politics already. And I'm not here to challenge that. I agree with the videos that I've watched. I mean, I haven't watched everything. But I typically agree with him. It's just, I am very frustrated in the way that he treats women. And okay, so that's getting into what I will be getting into today. What I will be getting into today. I was literally like hyperfixating, and I was up till like 2 a.m. last night just reading it. I found his old blog from 2013 called Bro Tip. But it's so frustrating because, okay, so he was on the Young Turks, right? Because his uncle is like Cenk or something. Cenk. And what's so funny is I actually, like, when the time Bro Tips aired, I think I was watching it. I don't think I would watch Bro Tips, but I was watching the Young Turks at that time. And a lot of people are brushing it off because they're like, well, 2013 was a long time ago. And like, I think because maybe Hasan's audience is really young, and there's a lot of Ethan Pedo Klein defenders that are saying like, oh, well, Ethan said all this bad stuff too. And I'm like, yeah, I hate Ethan. So like I was saying, I'm not gonna defend Ethan or Hasan. Like, they're both bad people, I guess. So I think he needs to be, because they scrubbed this off the internet, and I've been trying to find the videos because I think it's so funny. Like, I want to see them. But unfortunately, I guess Bro Tips didn't really represent the values of the Young Turks, so they scrubbed it off the internet. But I found the blog, and I found a couple clips of him. Alright, so we're at the homepage of Bro Tip, and it's weird because the show, okay, my first note, the show is called Bro Tips, but his blog is called The Bro Tip. So, consistency. Also, I want to know literally who designed, like, if he designed the website, if he designed this himself, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Because he was 22 or 23 at the time. And it was made in WordPress, and I've honestly made better websites in Wix for my internships, so this is just embarrassing. Oh right, and that's what I was gonna say. Sorry, the ADHD meds are probably wearing off. When people are saying like, oh, 2013 was not that long ago, well, I was around, and I have kind of a shit memory, but I was old enough to remember. I was 13. I was 13 in 2013. And I remember stuff because I was old enough. I was in 8th grade. And when people are like, oh, it was just a different time back then. It was a different time. Well, I like made a list. I compiled a bunch of things that aired in 2013 just to compare it to what Hasan was doing with Bro Tips. And literally, I mean, right. So yeah. So I was talking about how like, how many things aired in 2013, and how one of my favorite like comedy sketches ever a series called Jake and Amir in College Humor, literally had a character called Insecure Jake, and that was making fun of the pickup artist that I mean, it's because Hasan said it was satire, but I just, based on how he acts in real life towards women, I don't think it is. Or in the way where men just like don't understand what satire means. I think a lot of men just think satire means exaggerated, but that's not what it means. I think a lot of them think it means like exaggerated or like edgy humor. So Jake and Amir came out. Also, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was airing, and Dennis Reynolds, I mean, very ahead of the time, also satirizing the pickup artist character, and Parks and Rec, with Tom Haverford, also airing at the same time, and also one of the best musicals ever, Twisted by Star Kid, also satirizing the pickup bro character, F-boy character with Aladdin. And it's not to say, like, I remember that time, like, I watched old College Humor, I watched Cracked. There definitely was a pickup culture, and a lot of it is influenced by that stupid Barney Stinson, my biggest op. Yeah, I just think Barney Stinson really created this resurgence in pickup artistry that wasn't really seen as much before the early 2000s. And right, so my point is, yes, some things were more accepted in 2013, but I mean, it was more like people could openly say the R word, which apparently in Pittsburgh people still do that. I gotta get out of here. And people would say that's gay and stuff like that, like, kind of, like, but it wasn't like, you know, like, Parks and Rec was airing. Jake and Amir literally smartly satirizes that, so people were aware of this pickup artist caricature, and people still did something about it. They still, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, either Hasan is just really behind the times when he wrote this blog, which probably, or that's just who he is. I think he probably thinks that satire means, like, exaggeration of self. But I don't think, let me look. Satire. Right, so exaggeration or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics or other topical issues. So his stupid blog doesn't satirize anything. It's just him being edgy. First of all, design is awful. I guess they didn't teach website design at Rutgers, because it just looks like he literally took, like, it probably is a default setting on WordPress. Right. And he called himself the Professor. Oh my god. So he's wanted to be in politics for a long time, because he said, all I'm doing is trying to ruin any chance I had at becoming a congressman one day. I think, if anything, writing about porn actresses probably increases your chance of being a congressman. So we have a picture. Bro tip is back, baby. I didn't think it was Hasan Piker, because it looks like Seth Rogen. I don't know why. Okay. That rises from the ashes. Bro Tip will eventually rise from the hectic 9 to 9 workday schedule he has unfortunately gotten himself wrapped up in. That probably, like, his uncle gave him this job, so unfortunately gotten himself wrapped up in order to deliver hard-hitting, truth-seeking journalism on what's really happening out in the world. Mostly boobs, though. I don't know what I'm thinking. Probably the blood moon got to me. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Okay, so, there's like 3 articles on here. I'm very pro-women. Like, remember the brain rot he consumes. Alright, so it just says category archives blog post. Yeah, and if you want to wonder what I was doing at 23, I was getting my master's degree and also teaching English in France. That's what I was doing. But, I mean, I guess with men you can write a terrible sexist blog and then become the #1 leftist streamer on Twitch. Okay, okay, so the first article is about this lovely pornography. This lovely pornography video. Judy Garland or something. Conjoined an adult film set for release early next year. Features 2 non-related porn stars, Misha Brooks and Lynn Ray. The Tradwives are not going to be happy about that name. Who are joined at the hip. This new kink is the brainchild of... Wait, I gotta read it in like a reporter voice. This new kink is the brainchild of an adult director, B-Show, who saw a pair of conjoined twins on YouTube. One who was fat and the other who was skinny. I started thinking about the interpersonal dynamic and the sexual possibilities. I thought about 2 hot twins who were connected and wondered, what if one fell in love and wanted to be separated? He told the Huffington Post. And I wondered if the other one would get jealous. Oh my god, this is another thing he does. He just... I guess they didn't teach you about plagiarism in Rutgers, but at Penn State, that would be too harsh, but I like Rutgers is our... We don't like Rutgers. At Penn State, you're not supposed to just copy an entire paragraph from an article, and then he just said via Huffington Post. Okay, but he didn't even like link to the right article. Dude, if you want to be a politician, you need to know how to cite your sources. So he's saying like, okay, right. So he pasted this entire paragraph, which you're not supposed to do. Yeah, you would paraphrase if you're gonna, because it's you can't just like, because imagine if you wrote an essay and you just copied an entire block of text from another article, it would completely fail the Turnitin score. But I don't know, maybe they didn't have Turnitin in 2013, I don't know. But yeah, what I would do is I would paraphrase. And when you paraphrase, this is becoming a lecture on how to write an article, but when you paraphrase, you say this new kink is the brainchild of adult director B-Show, and then you parentheses Huffington Post, the date that it was, 2012 or something like that. It looks a lot better than a wall of text. And you can do a quote if you... I'm just giving Hasan writing advice because he wants to be a politician. If you want, it's good to quote the person talking. So I thought about the 2 hot twins that were connected. That's good. You can quote that. But I would not just take the entire block of text. It doesn't look good. Anyways, moving on. The porno industry proves once more that they give 0 fucks about whatever anyone thinks, because they're strictly fueled by the power of masturbation and kink. I guess there's a market for literally anything on the internet. See squashing.
The creative geniuses that brought you my new black stepdaddy 13. Once you black, you go back 15 or 13 times. Are now looking for a new way to get weirdos off. I guess that's like what happens when you have a ton of money and rich parents and you're a man. You just like confine yourself to your room and just watch like the most disgusting porn you can find. I mean, oh yeah, also this blog is like weirdly fat phobic. I think maybe, I don't know, Hasan mentioned being overweight before, so that like maybe it's like a self, I don't know. Anyways, I mean, tentacle porn and all that other weird shit is everyone else's business. If you want to crank it to girls with prosthetics, tying them up to one another, then go ahead. I'm just upset that these two fakers are taking jobs away from actually conjoined twins that could make an honest living off of millions of really creepy dudes yanking it to them trying to blow one dude together. Wouldn't it be yanking it from them trying to blow the one dude? That's what. What was your grade? What was your grade in English, Hasan, at Rutgers? Anyways, gross. Why is there this weird sisters thing? He's such a feminist, though, guys. He's such a feminist. He loves women. I think sisters should hook up, but I love women. That's Hasan, probably. You know what? Again, what was I doing at 23? I was getting my master's degree. I literally went to France and saved up thousands of dollars by myself. Nobody helped me to go to France because it was my dream at the time. And men are just, the bar is so low. The bar is so low. Actually, I lied. It would probably take a look at this since who am I kidding? I even go on efucked.com. Click at your own demise. It is most certainly NSFW. Every once in a while, to laugh at those porn bloopers, that is the most disturbing shit I've ever seen. Like gummy worms being showed. Oh my god. Oh, right. Like I've ever seen, like gummy worms. I wonder if he's being paid to write this, since the Bro Tips was part of, it's the Young Turks, and he couldn't even check his grammar. Alright. Gummy worms is being showed all up in buttholes. I think it's just shoved in buttholes. But I'd have to wait till the sad finale, where the two are finally separated through a complex surgical procedure and a mighty penis, to actually get into it. Sorry about that spoiler. I'm sure this is how I'm imagining him writing it in his basement, in Cenk's basement. Sorry about that spoiler. I'm sure you were all really thrilled to watch it all the way till the end. I wasn't. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna support fucking incest porn. Sorry, Hasan. Alright, one of his favorite, because he's such a feminist, he loves to go to brothels. Because he loves supporting women so much that he'll go to brothels. So the next article is, I guess it's just about prostitution in Switzerland. And the caption is, "You don't have to ruin your leather seats anymore in Switzerland." Swiss try in... this is probably an entire... oh my god. My internship manager would kill him, actually. Because he didn't even put quotes around where it came from the article. He just said via USA Today. Anyways. Swiss try drive-in sex bones for safer prostitution. That's the rule of an experiment Zurich is launching Monday to make prostitution less of a public nuisance and safer for women. I guess he's been to Germany brothels, so I guess he's an expert on this. Switzerland has long been famous for its mountaineering chocolate and precision watches, but a lesser-known aspect is its legal prostitution since 1942, for which its largest city is one of the main centers in Europe. Oh wait, the grammar's probably fine because this is from the actual article. Fashionably teak-colored open wooden garages, particularly called sex boxes by the Swiss media, will be open for business for drive-in customers. The publicly funded facilities, open all night and located away from the city center, including bathrooms, lockers, small cafe tables, and a laundry and shower. Men won't even have to worry about video surveillance cameras, but the sex workers who will need a permit and pay a small tax will be provided with a panic button and on-the-site social workers trained to look after them. Oh my god, that was such a nice break to have a nice flowing paragraph compared to what Hasan's writing is. My god, oh, this is the song. My god, Switzerland is redefining the game of the oldest business in the book, prostitution. You get off work after a long-ass week of sitting in Cenk's basement and doing nothing and jerking it, and long-ass week in Cenk's basement. You've just got dumped by your girlfriend. If you're in Switzerland... Oh, no, there should not be a comma here. Okay, alright. Period. If you're in Switzerland, you can just roll up to one of these booths and order sex with the same amount of ease and elegance as you'd order a Big Mac. Period. What a power play. What a power play by those sneaky Swiss government officials. I mean, if you're out in Europe and you happen to travel to Switzerland, is there any way you're not going to hit one of these quote-unquote sex boxes? Yeah, actually, there's many things in Switzerland I'd rather do. Lots of chocolate, skiing. I mean, they speak French. The UN is headquartered there. It's interesting how Hasan wants to be a politician and he's talking about porn in Switzerland when literally the UN is headquartered in Geneva and there's a lot of UN jobs there. Alright, what a power play by those sneaky Swiss government officials. I mean, if you're out in Europe and you happen to travel to Switzerland, is there any way you're not gonna hit one of these sex boxes with your bros for some economically feasible and surprisingly sanitary sexual play? No, you should kiss the bros. Skip the sex workers entirely and just start kissing your bros. It's free. There's even a cafe table so you can chat with your 20-minute partner about how she decided to become a prostitute, or how prostitution is now a $3.8 billion industry in her country. I don't know. It's up to you. Remember, when you're having sex with a stranger in an oddly open box in the middle of the woods, always use protection. So I know what most of you are thinking. Why did he use an ellipses, I think you're supposed to say. Ew, prostitution, professor? That's gross. Well, I'm not talking about the type of prostitution that they do in Taken. And there's a space between Taken because he probably just copied it. And if it's a movie, you need to italicize Taken. Where I didn't expect to get so heavy on the grammar, but it's important. You're working for a company. Where suave French dudes smooth talk your tourist ass into sex slavery. And what I mean is the nice legalized prostitution they do. He is so stupid. Like, actually, like, just because something's legal doesn't mean that women still aren't being trafficked. I guess he thinks like, oh, it's only those underground ones, like the porn I watch, the tentacle porn that I watch, is nobody's trafficked. Okay, the gummy worm porn, completely consensual. Which is basically the same concept of a strip club, but like a million times better, because it doesn't leave you hanging with balls as blue and as big as it's a lot of asses, as a beluga whale, so you can get an over the pants hand job in the $500 champagne room. Wait, hanging with balls as blue and as big as a beluga whale. I don't know how to make it. Just doesn't flow well. It doesn't flow well. The best part about this story is how willing the people of Switzerland were to get these things. Like, they're basically publicly funding them. Clearly, you guys are all bros. And see what I mean? Oh my god, sorry, I'm getting flushed. I don't know why. See what I mean about the influence of freaking Barney Stinson in pop culture? Like, it's so annoying. Clearly you guys are all bros and one-upping Sweden by a mile. Fuck you, Sweden. You name stealers. You might have IKEA, but we got fucking sex boxes. You must be real embarrassed now. Oh, well, I think Sweden is, yeah. I don't know. I prefer the IKEA. I just love IKEA, okay? I'm autistic. To see every single IKEA be the same, even when I was in France, it's exactly the same as when you go to one in Lancaster, PA. It's something soothing. Something soothing about that. Oh my god, this one's my favorite, because I'm a huge fan of Mad Men, so when I saw this, I was laughing so hard. But I don't know if this one was written by Hasan, because I think Hasan was the professor. Let me find the ones written by the professor. Wait, page 2. Oh my god, he's so bad at citing sources. Alright, anyway, so... Oh yeah, he's also just really an asshole and makes jokes about anorexia, too. Which, like, growing up was maybe more common, but it wasn't like... I don't know, I don't remember it, like, College Humor doing that, or Cracked, and you'll see from the clips I found, they're really trying to copy Cracked. Anyway, so, again, he just copies which, like, you do kind of do, because I did do a newsletter for my internship, but, again, there's nothing to separate the text box. And he... oh my god. He says via New York Post, and then he literally copies a link for the New York Post, and you would put your references at the bottom of the page. You wouldn't just it's like, imagine writing an essay and you're like so and so said, and you copy like the entire link of Wikipedia and just put that in your like paragraph. Anyways, a wealthy parking lot magnate gave herpes to his Soho model girlfriend after he promised her that he didn't have any sexually transmitted diseases. A $5 million lawsuit charges William Lerner, 57, who owns Imperial Parking Systems, one of the largest garage operators in the tri-state area, met the beautiful 43-year-old woman in an art gallery in 2012 and wooed her for several months, according to the papers filed yesterday in Manhattan Supreme Court. The entire time I had protected sex with him, the woman explained. It did cross my mind that maybe he should be tested, but on the other hand, I trusted him completely. This. Maybe this is like subliminal. Like Hasan is, because he's like, he said he doesn't even remember his body count. So he's like, don't ask for STD test. Don't ask for STD test. She said her troubles began in March 2012 when Lerner tricked her into thinking that he didn't have any health issues and the couple had unprotected sex for the first time. Days later, the woman allegedly experienced a herpes outbreak. Oh yeah, and he also doesn't... He copied the article and he didn't even put like a space after the period too. William Lerner, you dog. You tricked half of NY into paying outrageous fees for letting their cars get banged up by a bunch of illegal attendants in tight-ass parking lots. Now you're tricking models into having unprotected sex with you. What a smooth talker this guy must be. Well, maybe not the smoothest criminal if it took you months to find... It is probably... He's like, subliminal messaging. Well, maybe not the smoothest criminal if it took you months to finally have unprotected sex. How many, like, random women in clubs do you think got, like, STIs from Hasan? Probably a lot. It's used up. I'm so gross. Disgusting. Ew. You wouldn't want to drive a car. You didn't. So idiots. You wouldn't want to drive a car that already had people riding in it, would you? Well, that's how I feel about Hasan. Disgusting. Probably looks like roast beef. Disgusting. I don't know if this guy actually does have herpes or not, or if he really did infect her, but they were having an extramarital affair. Most like rich people's affairs. This one obviously ended tastefully with a $5 million lawsuit. That's probably like his daily income now. I'm assuming that the real reason why Will ended the fling was because he realized he could just cheat on his wife with a younger woman. They're in the age of 43. Well, guess what, Hasan? You're 34 now, and men expire at 25, so you're expired. You're expired now. Also, the model is full of shit because an infection won't occur in a few days. That's like sex ed 101. Read up, woman. Yeah, because he probably has like, hello, Hasan, I'm having some weird symptoms. Remember we hooked up like a couple nights ago? Yeah, he's like, shut up, okay? No, it's not from me. It's not from me. Shut up, okay? I took sex ed at Rutgers, okay? It doesn't happen that fast. It doesn't happen that fast. And he's just like crying in Cenk's basement. Oh yeah, this one's so good too. I mean, like, I just don't understand how it's like manly to be like so down so bad, you know, and like with your bros and talking about how down bad you are and like objectifying women. It's like, that is pretty homoerotic, no, to just be with your bros and like talking about how much you want to hook up with girls. Alright, this next one. I don't know if I could show this. This 70-year-old man redefined the game of getting off. I'm gonna leave a comment. Stick a fork in the story. Humanity is done. See, that's a good, but you know, it's not written by Hasan, so that's why it's good. Doctors in Australia. And also it's like embarrassing. Like, I mean, maybe this was his personal, I don't know. But I feel like it's not, because it's associated with his, like, it's associated with his character on The Young Turks. So at this point, you're like, when I read this, I was like, oh, he must have been like a teenager or something. No. He was 23. So at that point, he like probably already graduated college and he can't even write for shit. Alright, stick a fork in the story. Humanity is done. Doctors in Australia have come across this case of a autoerotic stimulation gone wrong that is so embarrassing they felt compelled to tell everyone about it. Urologists at Canberra Hospital. Oh wait, you have to write this in OCX. Urologists at a Canberra hospital were recently presented with a 70-year-old patient who had ended up in the emergency room with a 10 centimeter. Oh, that's why I was so confused as to why he was using 10 centimeters. And then it's like, oh, he just copied this from an Australian news site. That's why. Or they were like Australians. An emergency room with a 10 centimeter 4-inch fork lodged in 10 centimeter 4-inch fork lodged inside his penis. This case warrants discussion given the great management challenge faced by the oddity and infrequency with which a fork is encountered in the penile urethra, wrote to the doctors and in the report's abstract. However, the doctors, I'm being British because of the doctor. However, the doctors at least agree that it is apparent that the human mind is uninhibited, let alone creative. Via Gawker, and then oh my god, he just copies Gawker, and then the link, and then doesn't even, just like starts a quote, starts a quote, and then doesn't even finish quote it at the end, so it's like source, it's cited wrong. I guess they didn't have Easy Bib in 2013. I feel like they did, because wasn't that the point of College Humor? It was like, I don't know, making jokes for like college students and stuff, and I feel like they probably I mean, obviously they didn't have ChatGPT, but they had like Easy Bit and stuff. If you thought you had a shitty Monday sitting in Cenk's basement, sitting in traffic, then listen to Joanne by your desk bitch about how hard her life is now that her husband left her. Get ecstatic because hey, at least you don't have a fork inside your penis. This kinky old dude just redefined everything I already thought I knew. They were doing it at old folk homes. Well, I think, like, statistically, elderly people are, like, the most likely to get STIs. So there's nothing else to do. Turns out it doesn't end at naked bingo. I admire this old man because at the fertile age of 70, I want to be able to have half his sexual stamina and creativity. See, it's definitely not satire because it's just based on how he is with women. That just seems like something he would genuinely want. You know, because he's like, high blood count. And also what's interesting is that they found recently that it's not the eggs that decrease in quality in the ovaries. It's actually the quality of sperm that decreases over time. So another thing about expired, it's actually the men that are expired. What could he have done sexually up to the point in his life that made him decide? What could he have done sexually up to this point in his life? You know what? Hasan's probably gonna be that guy who sticks the fork in his urethra, because, like, what do you even do if you, like, have hooked up with so many women? What do you do at that point? Like, it's just like eating breakfast for him. So he's gotta find something to do. I guess he shocked his dog. Maybe that's how he, no, I shouldn't suggest that. And stick a sharp object in his penis. Sorry, my roommates are here. This is a man you have to stay away from. Not just because he'll fuck you if he gets a hold of you, but because who knows what he's going to try next. There's no stopping this dude. And also this story once again proves that us guys, see, he says, that's how I know, like, again, with, Nathan Fielder too, he doesn't separate himself from the character. He says, us guys will stop at nothing to find the next best way to get off. So if you're doing satire, it would be clear. I mean, I guess, like, he's saying he's the professor, but it just seems like he thinks that satire means exaggerating your own personality, and that's not what that means. Also, I just find it so ironic because imagine, no, it wouldn't even happen. If a woman tried to write a blog like this in 2013, it just wouldn't happen. They would just be like, ugh, disgusting. Yeah, he has a picture from the famous American Pie. P.S. Also, we were all thinking it, so I'll say it. The guy's gotta have a hammer. Homoerotic, non? C'est un peu homoerotique, je pense. Je pensais un peu. If he can stick a full fork up there, I mean, come on. He spelled it like come on, like human. I don't even think I'd be able to stick a pencil in there. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. You're not really supposed to do that. You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of 90 Day Fiance when that crazy guy was like, I don't want the worms to get up my urethra in the Amazon river.
I'm gonna put this on first. Taste that fish, gets through the waiter. And I have this little penis, I guess like a sheath protection bag. And I'll put a condom on, have that to hold that on. Definitely don't want nothing swimming at my penis.
Don't forget to tweet your suggestions, thoughts, comments, and also nudies. Females only, please, to @JustTheBroTip on Twitter, and maybe you'll get mentioned on the show. Is this a guy who respects women? I don't think so. I don't just see. I don't know if this is like not a politically correct thing to say anymore, but he literally talks like a Redditor. And he's like, oh, I lost count, and he's like, oh, I slept with so many women. He like told Ludwig, he's like, oh, I don't even remember, man, it's been so many. And it's like, say it's 3,000, divide that by 1,000, and that's the real number. He's about, oh, hey, I didn't see you there. But you're wondering how I got here. Hey, I didn't see you there. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is Bro Tip, where each week I give you just the tip, just for a little bit. And I think that's how he sleeps with so many women. He just gives a tally, and he just sticks it in for like a couple seconds, and then he takes it out, and he's like, ding, another one. I will be diving in headfirst into what happens in the news, so you can act like you came up with the shit you saw on here when you're talking to your friends. Oh, and sometimes shoot tips that might help you get laid. It gets you paid. It gets you laid. It gets you made. It gets you paid in pussy, I said.
Being in a fraternity is the highest form of brotherhood. It gets you made, paid, and, oh yeah, it gets you laid.
How does it get you paid?
Sorry?
How does it get you paid?
Gets you laid, I said.
No, you said paid and made.
Made.
Paid.
You know what? Gets you paid in pussy. Yeah, that's what it does. Liquid pussy. That's currency in my frat.
Gets you paid? Place your fist here, bro. PewDiePie finna sue! I think PewDiePie was like already popular on YouTube at this point, so he's wait for the lawsuit. Alright, well, that was really stupid. I don't know if I should read this one. I'm so mad the links don't work anymore. Alright, but I found, yeah. I mean, there's one video. Oh yeah, there's an entire article where he just talks about how he's jealous of John Hamm for, like, how, being well endowed, I guess, and that he can see it in the outline of his jeans. Which, like, I mean, c'est un peu homosexuel, no? Because, like, I mean, like, I don't even know if that's something women would look at. So, and he starts by, first off, let me start by saying this, I'm happily and undoubtedly a heterosexual male. Okay. Oh, God.
Out of there.
Oh my God. And when I say, I feel bad for thinking he was cute, honestly. Because I don't understand how he, like, at, like, 23, he looks like Steven Crowder. If Steven Crowder was on, like, steroids. And I literally did not think, I was like, there's no way that's him because he looks so different. But it's him.
Tips on how to get women in a club. Let's get out of here. It's time to get out of there, and it's time to separate her from her herd, meaning her crowd of girlfriends that are going to do their best to cock block you because they're fat and lonely.
I hate. Okay, but that's still such bad advice, though, because what if you're just being creepy so her friends are looking out for her? Also, pot calling kettle now.
Again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time: old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark. I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't you?
But this grosses me out so much. Like, I do remember this, how, like, the media was very aggressive towards Miley Cyrus and, like, slut shaming her and stuff. And I think she was, like, barely 18. What age? Yeah, she was 21, so I mean, I guess that's not as bad as, like, Britney Spears or Lindsay Lohan, but I don't know. Yeah, I remember the Hamilton thing, and also the I think that was a big thing with the Janet Jackson where her, like, breast was showing or something. Or what? Why does it matter? I don't know. Wait, but you know what's weird is, like, he's making fun of Miley Cyrus for having camel toe, but then he's, like, admiring John Hamm for having, like, an outline of his genitalia in his pants. So again, it's a little homoerotic.
Gotta hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
Another one.
He's so gross. He's so gross. Imagine. And so I found another article that talks about so apparently in 2016, which is definitely not a long time ago, the young Cenk Uyghurs, the Young Turks, had a panel on how to pick up chicks. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know.
who's like, oh yes, let's watch this 4-year-old man from a YouTube news show us Riz. Yeah. Ew, oh my god. But just over a year ago, Uyghur led a profanity-laced panel discussion of how to pick up chicks, which he discussed hitting on a 19-year-old beauty pageant winner when he was 28, and laughed when Young Turk's entertainment political reporter, oh my god, he's such a nepo baby, I hate his ass. No, because literally, like, my master's is in international affairs, and he just, like, got, like, an undergrad degree and then immediately got a political job on his uncle's YouTube company. Hasan Piker bragged about being a quote, total misogynist. Piker also told the third panelist, Young Turk sports personality Francis Maxwell, that his Scottish accent was a built-in F mechanism. He just wants to be with Shrek. He just wants to be with Shrek. I think I just can't even imagine like what kind of relationship they have, you know, like that's his uncle. Like, not only is he being misogynistic and weird, like imagine having a panel on how to hook up with women with your uncle. Like, I'm just imagining this the scene from The Lion King where Mufasa is like talking to Simba, and that's like Cenk, and he's like, everything the light touches will be yours. We just have to get into our BMW and drive down Santa Monica and pick up women. And he's like, yes, uncle, I believe in you. I believe in you, uncle, yes. I will get such posy. Well, anyways, I don't know, I was gonna react to a clip of him on Leftovers where he's talking about visiting a brothel for women's rights, I guess. But my computer's at 1%, so I don't want to. Sorry, I had to work all day, I'm sorry. My back hurts to pick up people's groceries. But basically, there's this clip up from The Leftovers where he's like telling Ethan Pedotroll Klein that it's good that he slept with sex workers at a brothel in Germany because it's positive. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot for the feminist movement. He's doing so much. And I just thought it's like me. Imagine if I was saying like, oh yeah, I'd love to watch Sam and Dean shirtless in Supernatural because I really care about, you know, orphans' rights and we need to advocate for orphans. But I don't know, maybe Hasan is just stupid because it reminds me of the one episode of South Park where the cop is like going undercover and he dresses as a woman and then he like is like completely hooking up to like do the sting operation. So maybe Hasan thinks like on the ground journalism actually means like he's like, if I'm gonna interview about the red light district in Germany, I gotta actually hook up with these women.
Right here's good, sexy. Now, if you wouldn't mind handing over the $20 for oral sex.
Oh, okay.
All right, buddy. Go ahead and unbutton your pants. All right, here we go.
And record it, and then I'll get famous, and I'll go on Vice. I don't know why Hasan became Southern, but I don't know. Hopefully that was entertaining. I don't even know what I said.
be honest.
My dog's Kaya is dead, but Jocker Frankenstein will be helping me. I'll shock Kaya. Stop. It is live. What were you reaching for in the clip? Vibrator.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.